Good evening. We'll start with agenda item 1.1 that the Council of the Town of Kindersley, having established quorum, resolves to call the November 30th, 2020 regular meeting of Council to order at 5:01 p.m. I have a mover and a second. Moved by Mr. Galbraith, second by Councilor Becker. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Just wanted to say a few words tonight. I think any of you that have been following our statistics in the province of Saskatchewan will see that we're not really winning the battle on COVID right at the present time. Our numbers have been terribly high throughout the province for the last week, basically. The one thing I will say is I'm extremely proud of the Central West Zone. If you take a look at the graphs that are online on the CTV news app, you'll see that we are the lowest number right across the board. We've done very well. I spoke last night, in fact, to one of the medical staff people, and he commented how well we had done. The town of Kindersley has taken some additional steps as per Sask Health regarding our facilities. The rink is down to 7 skaters on the ice, only on coaching sessions, no games. I spoke with Chelsea on that, and she is very, very pleased with the reception that Minor Sports has given and the way they are following the protocol. It's excellent. I believe our pool is under some adjustments too with staffing. And so I guess what I would say to people is we're going to have to keep the fight up here. I listen every day to the COVID vaccines, and they are coming, but I don't think it'll be near fast enough for any of us really that are getting anxious with living in the manner we're forced to, but I think we've got to keep up the fight for a while longer, and hopefully it'll all clear up by spring perhaps. Just wanted to say we're proceeding still with cleanup on our snow removal. Our people did a fabulous job. I've had many people stop me on the streets, post office, when I am out, saying that they did a great job, and I certainly would agree with that. There was some long hours put in. Nothing is going to be perfect, and there's always going to be people that have a few complaints, but it was a mammoth job, and it was well done. I'll move on. I'd like to call from, if there was anyone who wants to move anything from the consent agenda to the regular agenda. I think there were 3 items: Sask Water operational report, newsletter, and the SAMA 2021 taxable assessment, but I believe Audrey will probably be addressing that later in the agenda. So I don't think there's anything there. Agenda item 2.2, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to adopt the agenda for the November 30th, 2020 regular meeting of Council as presented, and that a copy of this agenda be attached to and form part of the minutes of this meeting. I would need a mover and a seconder, please. Warren, Randy. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. And agenda item 4.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves, whereas the time being 5:05 p.m., that the regular meeting of Council be adjourned to a confidential in-camera meeting. Mover and seconder, please. Gary and Dean. All in favor? p.m. that the confidential in-camera meeting is concluded and the regular meeting of Council is resumed. Need a mover and a seconder. Randy and Rob. All in favor? Carried. Agenda item 5.2, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to amend the agenda of the November 30th, 2020 regular meeting of Council to add item 7.9, Crisis Center Building Funds. And I would need a mover and a second to add that. Dean and Warren. All in favor? Thank you. Agenda item 6.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to approve as presented the minutes from the November 16th, 2020 regular meeting of Council, and that these minutes be attached to and form a part of the minutes of this meeting. Mover, seconder, please. Chris, Warren. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Agenda item 7.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley approve the discretionary use application, DU number 20-10, for a temporary bulk fuel and storage facility located at 801 10th Street West, on the condition that it complies with the development standards of discretionary commercial and industrial uses pursuant to section 6.14 sub 5(1)(a) of zoning bylaw 0414, that if any of the conditions outlined above are not met for this proposed temporary bulk fuel and storage facility, then the permit may not be approved and or may be revoked. Deputy Administrator Kim, could you speak on that, please?
Sure. So we received an application for a temporary bulk fuel and storage facility located at 801 10th Street West. So this is located in the industrial area. It is zoned M1, so that's a light industrial, and this use does meet the requirements within the zoning bylaw as a discretionary use, so that just means we have to give notice to any of the properties within 75 meters. We have done that, and we didn't receive any feedback from anybody within that area, and as far as the development goes, it is meeting all the other requirements.
Any questions of Kim, Council? Seeing none, I need a mover and a seconder, please, for the motion. Randy and Dean. All in favor? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Resolution of the Council of the Town of Kindersley, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to confirm that the municipality meets the following eligibility requirements to receive the municipal revenue sharing grant. 1, submission of the 2019 audited financials to the Ministry of Government Relations. 2, submission of the 2019 public reporting on municipal waterworks to the Ministry of Government Relations. 3, in good standing with respect to the reporting and remittance of education and property taxes. 4, adoption of the council procedure bylaw. 5, adoption of an employee code of conduct. 6, all members of council have filed and annually updated their public disclosure statements as required, and that council authorizes the CAO to sign the declaration of eligibility and submit it to the Ministry of Government Relations. Audrey, can you just comment on this one, please?
Sure. So last year was the first year that the Ministry of Government Relations started implementing that all these 6 steps have to be done and in place in order for you to receive your revenue sharing grant. Last year I think they had a little bit of leeway on it. This year is you have to have it or you don't get your revenue sharing grant. And then the last step, of course, is the resolution that I need to attach to the declaration so that they can see that council has passed it.
Any questions, council? This is a normal revenue sharing grant we get every year.
Yeah.
It's a per capita, I believe, is it?
No, it's more based on the per capita and then the PST thing and the formula right there. Last year ours was a little bit over $1 million, so.
Okay, seeing as there are no questions, could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Warren move, second, Rob, all in favor? Just for the public's comment, I am operating without a mask here because it's a little tough to do all the reading and still maintain breathing, so I will put it on when my reading obligations slow down a bit. Agenda item 7.3, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves that regular meetings for 2021 shall convene at 5 p.m. and be held at the Town of Kindersley Council Chambers located at 106 5th Avenue East, Kindersley, Saskatchewan, basically on the second and fourth Mondays of every month. We will only have one meeting in December, and other than that, we go 2 meetings a month. If everybody's okay with that, I'll get a mover and a seconder, and we'll carry on. Dean and Chris, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, agenda item 7.4, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley accept as presented the terms of reference for the Kindersley Regional Airport Committee, and that the aforementioned terms of reference be attached to and form part of the minutes of this meeting. Audrey, would you care to comment on this?
Yeah, so previously, when we had the other municipalities in there, we had a bylaw that stated who was to sit on the board. When we went, they wanted to not attend meetings, so we changed the bylaw. And we just needed this terms of reference just to say who sits or how many members are on this local town committee.
I believe we have 3 council members on.
Yeah, I do believe it. No, 2 members, the airport manager and the COR designate, yeah.
Okay. So we'll need
Which is a designate.
That's a motion, then I need a mover and a seconder for that, please. Randy, second, Warren. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay. Not done yet. Agenda item 7.5, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to approve the following appointments for a term beginning January 1, 2021 and which shall expire December 31st, 2021. Deputy Administrator Kim Vogel, Auditor MNP LLP, Chief Assessor CAO Audrey Hebert, Building Officials Class 3 Chris Gates of BuildTech Consulting and Inspections, Class 2 Jason Kent of BuildTech Consulting and Inspections, Class 1 Carly Heathcote of BuildTech Consulting and Inspections, Inc. Town of Kindersley Emergency Measures Coordinator Deputy Administrator Kim Vogel, Town of Kindersley Emergency Measures Deputy Coordinator Bylaw Enforcement Officer Melissa Torrens. Planning Consultancy of Record is Crosby Hanna and Associates. Engineering Consultancy of Record is ACOM. Board of Revision, Chris Krismer is the Chair, Gord Krismer Vice Chair, Cameron Duncan Vice Chair, Christina Krismer Member, Jeff Hutton Member, David Lang Member, Kirby Bodnard Member, Brenda Loft Member, Pam Malach Member, and Mrs. Eileen Svensson as the Board's Secretary and Registrar. The Development Appeals Board is Clint Krismer, Chair, Gord Krismer Vice Chair, Cameron Duncan Vice Chair, Christina Krismer Member, Jeff Hutton Member, David Lang Member, Kirby Bodnard Member, Brenda Loft Member, Pam Malach Member, and Mrs. Eileen Svensson as the Board Secretary. Audrey, do you want to perhaps explain what the rather lengthy list is?
Yeah, so these are the appointments made by the town every year for the various things that you read. So we're building officials, our auditor, the EMO, and then our engineering, our Board of Revision and the Development Appeals Board, which the Board of Revision hears any appeals on taxation, and Development Appeals Board hears any development appeals that may come in through the building part there. So just an annual annual duty to sign those.
Questions on those? If not, can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Great. Second, Rod. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, now, 7.6, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to approve the documents entitled Committees, Boards, and Appointments of the Council of the Town of Kindersley, November 20th or 30th, 2020 to November 28th, 2022, and Council of the Town of Kindersley list of representations to committees and boards, November 30th, 2020 to November 28th, 2022, and that a copy of aforementioned documents be attached to and form a part of the minutes of this meeting. Audrey, any comments on that?
Yeah, so these are just the various committees and boards and such that the members of council sit on throughout the year, and yeah.
I think we went through this, was it the last meeting?
Yeah, just to appoint everybody,
This is
yeah.
just the hard copy.
Yeah, this is the final one.
All
So
of it.
things like, your PCIP grant, your cemetery board, your library boards, those type of committees.
Could I have a mover then and seconder, please? Chris and Rob. All in favor? Carried. Okay, agenda item 7.7, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to authorize the 2020 write-offs as set out in accordance with Schedule A is the accounts receivable write-off listing as of November 30th, 2020. Schedule B is the utility write-off listing, November 30th, 2020, and Schedule C is the mobile home license fee write-off listing, November 30th, 2020, as presented. And that a copy of Schedule A, B, and C be attached to and form part of the minutes of this meeting. CAO Audrey, any explanation of all these?
Yeah, so this again is an annual thing. All of these were in collections were at collections and still are at collections. They're just getting so old. We do budget annually to put money into the allowance for uncollected accounts. And so this just writes it off. These were majority 2016, 2017 invoices that collections is having a hard time collecting. They can't locate them, or they have and they're just not abiding, and it's just not worth the legal to go after them for the amount of money that is outstanding. They will stay on. We don't take them off collections, so even if they're written off and it comes in, then we get the money at that point. It's just written off that account.
Okay. Any questions on that, Council? You'll see there's no names on them, but there are legal descriptions.
What are these, like, out of curiosity, what are they for?
The accounts receivable, one of them was a nice rental, and I think the other two were landfill fees.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, the water is water, and mobile homes are mobile homes.
There's some of them, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Exactly these. Okay.
All right, any further questions on it, Council? If not, could I have a mover and a seconder to allow Audrey to carry on with this? Warren? Randy? All in favor? Thank you. Okay. Agenda item 7.9, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to commit $25,000 I don't have a 7.8. Oh, I'm sorry. Before we get, yeah. Why I
Skipped the financial.
missed the yellow sheet for some reason. Oh, I see. No wonder it's not yellow, it's white. Okay, we'll back up for a minute. We'll do 7.8 financial report, Audrey.
And really, probably could have done it. There isn't anything really new on this statement. We're 84% done the year. The one thing you're going to start noticing if you're looking at the spreadsheet is that the expenses a lot of the time are going to be more than that amount less, like they're not going to be up there at the 84%. And a lot of that has to do with the depreciation that is put on the end of the year, and I just didn't want to keep saying that over and over again. A lot of the depreciation is a good 20% of the budget, so even at the end of November or December, you're still going to be out that because we don't do that till after the year ends. So, but otherwise, everything else, the notes that I have on there were there previously from the report in September.
Any questions on the financials? Okay, now we'll try 7.9. That the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to commit $25,000 in additional funding in the year 2020 to the West Central Crisis and Family Support Center, Inc. for the Office and Programming Facility Building Project, and that the funds be specifically used for the completion of roofing and the heating system. I guess I can speak on this a little bit. The Crisis Center, as many people know, have moved the Tyne building onto foundation. They've got a lot of the work done on it. Unfortunately, some of their funding didn't get turned down, I don't think really, but some oil companies that have committed large amounts of money kind of asked for a year leave of absence basically to allow them for the oil price to get stable again and obviously their earnings. So the funding hasn't quite been available, and they were basically to the point where until some more funding came in, they were not able to put the shingles on the roof and to hook up the heating system. And I have spoke with Michelle Weber and got a number, and the $25,000 that we are proposing that we give to them will cover this and get the building basically covered in. And she advises me that she is 2/3 of the way getting the final amounts of money needed to finish it by this spring type of thing. So they're looking at being in there, I'm guessing May type of thing, but it's going to take some time, and we just in looking at it decided that with the weather being what it is and storms being what they are, that to leave the roof uncovered and the building unheated just doesn't make any sense. So this will enable them to get that done post haste, and hopefully everything should be good then for them to carry on and complete it in the spring. Council, any comments or questions on that?
Just think it's a reiteration that this is an emergency injection, that if we weren't to do anything, there could be extensive damage in the building.
Yeah.
And it's an important program that I think we need in this community.
Yeah, I think they're very, very busy right now. I finally caught up with her at 4 or 4:30 today, and it was, she said, we've had umpteen cases today even, so it's been a busy week, and the week is just starting. So.
This pandemic would be probably adding to all of that.
Yeah, nothing is, yeah, it's, COVID is definitely caused them issues, simply more financial pressure on people and too many people locked in their houses means, you see it on TV every night, domestic violence and stuff is at an all-time high. So I think anything we can do to help this situation and get them closer to having a home that will work for what they're doing is a benefit to our whole community. If there's no further questions or comments, could I have a mover and a seconder to this motion, please? Dean and Randy. All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. Agenda item 8.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to accept as submitted the list of accounts as paid by the Town of Kindersley in the amount of $1,329,060.73, and then a copy of said accounts be attached to and form part of the minutes of this meeting. Just pass this on to you, Audrey. I guess it sounds like a big number, but $900,000 of it is for progress payments to Acadia Construction for the industrial area project, which is hopefully the last ones we'll receive for this year, I would think. Anybody else got any questions for Audrey on it?
I just had one inquiry, Kindersley Glass, Norman Ritchie Center, $7,300 in repairs, to what? Just the glass doors, the sliding glass doors?
I'd have to pull that invoice, I do not
I
know.
was just curious, like,
For the repair.
the repair, like, how old are those doors?
They're not old. I don't think he did repairs on there, so I'll check that invoice and let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Deputy Mayor?
Yeah, Audrey, sorry I didn't get this to you. I just noticed that, what were those two PAS holding checks, order to remedy, what were those?
So they would have had to do order to remedies, whether it was for snow or whatever. So when he does that, if somebody, they're sent an order to remedy and they have, I think it's 2 weeks or
Oh, I
3
see,
weeks to
okay.
do them, and if they haven't
Yeah.
completed it, then he'll go and do it, and then we attach it to
I
the
didn't
tax.
even realize for sure that was passed.
Yeah.
The $6,000 of it was for,
I do believe there was a
That's
mosquito control and,
The other,
and some spraying for,
yeah, it was invoices
waste and
we
whatnot
forgot to.
for the summer. That's
Yeah,
what I think.
yeah.
Thank you.
So I don't believe they were all
He
ordered.
dragged a little on his invoice.
Oh, yes.
Never late.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was $6,000 of it was two different invoices for pest spraying. Anything else? Anybody know there? I think it was something I was going to ask you about too, and I'm jumping out at me here.
I do have another one, that bird chilling system, I've never heard of those guys. You've never had them work for us before, have you?
That's J&J, they sold it to Bird.
They
That's the
did.
same guys.
Oh,
Same guys, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I picked that up too. That's the first time we've seen invoicing from them.
Yeah, and they'll be working under that new company for a while, and then, yeah.
Okay. There's no other questions. Can I have a mover and a seconder to pay these accounts, please? Rob? Seconder? Chris? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, agenda item 9.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to accept approve the consent agenda, including just 3 correspondence items. Sask Water and the South Saskatchewan River Watershed newsletter, and SAMA 2021 assessed revaluation. And I think I'll pass that one over to you, Audrey.
Yeah, so this came from Santa, this is just, they've reevaluated our numbers already. They will change, they're not done by any means, but they have taken the old numbers and applied the new formulas to them to make them the 2021. They haven't done our pickups, they haven't done any of the callbacks or anything like that yet. So basically, it's just kind of showing you where the trend is leading. So the residential and your multi-unit residentials, same thing. You're going to see a decrease in assessment on those properties. And the other ones, like your commercial elevators, non-honorable pipeline, railway, you'll see a little bit of commercial, a little bit of an increase. Your elevators, again, a little bit of an increase. But we're not seeing as much of an increase as the provincial trend is, so that's good, except in other agriculture, which I do not believe, well, we have a little bit, but not very much, so. Yeah. So you can see there, like, our trend, so you'll see an 8% increase in the assessment in commercial, which is ours, and the provincial trend is 12%.
And this is based on
So,
what year or?
so this is based on sales of 2019.
19?
Yes. So that's why you're going to see a decrease in most of your residentials, because houses weren't selling for what they were in 2019 as to what they were in 2017.
Okay. I'm just surprised commercial went up.
I was a little bit too, actually, but well, the one thing that we did when we did look at it is we're finding that bare land is really going up. I don't know why, but
Safety.
yeah. And then elevators, they don't like that when they go up, but we don't have any. The railway is taking a hit this time. I'm not exactly sure why, but like there are, like with railways, ours is 26% and the provincial trend is 17%, so I'm not sure why our railways are going up so high. But just to kind of, to give this sort of for you, just like we can use it for budget. We do have the actual physical numbers, but they're not the ones that are going to stay, but they'll be, the majority of them will. And the last page actually, the taxable assessed value kind of gives you an idea of, how it's changing from 2020 to 2021. So you'll see a big dip in the residential. So I mean, in saying that, we can still use our mill rate factors to, level things out there a little bit as well, so.
Okay, any other thoughts on that, council? If not, could I have a mover and a second to accept that correspondence, please? Dean? Gary? All in favor? Carried. This last one here. Okay, we'll move right on to agenda item 13.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves that all business having been concluded, the November 30th, 2020 regular meeting of council be adjourned at 7:35 p.m. Need a mover and a seconder, please. Randy, second. Rob, all in favor? Carried. Thanks. Done deal.